Listen, I don't care what year it is. 2018, 2019, hell, it could be 2048 and I'd still think you should buy a PS Vita. It's always a good time to buy a PS Vita. Now, it's been brought to my attention that there were quite a few things I forgot to mention in my last top 10 reasons why I love the PS Vita video. So, I've decided to do a follow-up video. Here it is. 5 reasons to buy the PS Vita, no matter what year it is. Enjoy. Number 5. Party Chat. The ease and simplicity of it is rather out of place with the rest of Sony's random set of features. I'm always putting down a lot of the Vita's touch functionality, but when it comes to Party Chat, I think this is one area where Sony actually got it right. Clearly, one of the most overlooked features of the PlayStation Vita. It's easy to use, easy to set up, and thanks to the Vita's built-in microphone, you won't even need any additional equipment. Simply set up a room, send an invite, and off you go. No need for a friend code either. Not only is it compatible with PS Vita users, but also with the PlayStation 4. Call a friend for a quick chat or talk while you're playing another game. Here's the feature in action. Alright guys, so I'm about to call up my buddy Tim. If you guys don't know, he was the one who did the Uncharted review with me for the PS3 back in, I think maybe 2013. So I told him I was going to call him. He doesn't know that I'm going to be calling him through Party Chat on the PS Vita. He thinks I'm going to call him on his phone. So let's just see what happens. Whoa, I forgot to turn on the light. Okay, here we go. I'm about to send it. Oh, here we go.
Hello?
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 Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What's up?
What's up, buddy?
What do you want?
Guess what?
Huh?
Guess what?
What?
Guess where I'm calling you from?
Let me guess, the toilet?
No, I'm calling you from a Vita.
Are you still doing those reviews?
No.
Oh my god.
What are you doing? Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I'm playing Assassin's Creed, you know, on a modern gaming console.
So how is it?
It's alright. It's not too bad. It's really long.
Is it the best Assassin's Creed game?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
I mean, I don't know. All these games are like Marvel movies, you know. The next is the best one that ever came out. The best one.
Is it better than what was the one before this? Origins?
No, I think Origins is better. I think they put too much in this game. It's way too much going on at one time.
Oh yeah.
It's a game within a game. It's like Inception.
I liked Origins. I think, you know what my idea is? I'm gonna buy Assassin's Creed every other year. Like I've given up on buying it each year. I don't think there's enough of a progression to just get it every year.
No, I think what they need to do is they also need to take a break every year and really focus on you know, getting the story right. You know, I felt like they skipped a year between Origins and what came out before Origins?
Syndicate. It was Syndicate.
Syndicate, right?
Yeah.
Syndicate. So they skipped a year between Syndicate and Origins, and I think that was the best thing they did because they rethought everything. And I feel like Odyssey is basically a combination of everything they learned from all the newer games, and they try to put everything into one game to make it like the ultimate Assassin's Creed game with all the different fighting styles and leveling systems.
Right.
Still, I mean, I think they made it too big and too long, and I think the story's too convoluted. There's too much going on, and you know, I really think Ubisoft went from a story-driven game and created basically a game that centers around just the gameplay and doing stuff. But I guess that's why people buy Assassin's Creed games, not for the riveting story, but for the non-stop action and assassinating.
Yeah. Wow, that was pretty good, dude. You should be on this. I should bring you on and do a podcast with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that would be. I mean, I thought you weren't doing YouTube anymore.
Oh. Listen, I gotta go.
Are you recording me right now?
No. Number 4. Third-party console ports. I was too busy in my last video praising first-party and Japanese games that I forgot all about the great third-party titles available. Rayman Origins, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, Odin Sphere, and Child of Light, just to name a few. They're all great titles and excellent ports in their own rights, but I think the game I really need to talk about is Mortal Kombat. Like a lot of things associated with the PS Vita, this game doesn't get enough credit. People are always downplaying the graphics, but when you take it as a whole, this has to be one of the most impressive fighting game ports I've ever seen and played on a portable handheld. Sorry, Dead or Alive 5. At first glance, the drop in texture detail will come as a shock, especially if you're familiar with the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. There's really nothing missing from the game graphically, it just doesn't look as pretty as it does on the consoles. Although detail on the fighters are reduced, they all retain their intro and victory poses, as well as damage to the character model occurred throughout the fight. Blood and particle effects from special moves are still present, so you don't need to worry about that. Some of the busier stages are still quite impressive. For example, the subway stage where you see old newspaper flying around. And the living forest, which in all honesty still looks pretty damn good. The Deadpool is another personal favorite of mine. In my opinion, the thing that hurts this game the most is the story mode. Because it uses cutscenes from the console version, the drop in graphical detail sticks out like a sore thumb when the game transitions to an actual fight. My advice, play the single player ladder first before you take on the story mode. You'll appreciate the game a lot more. It controls great as well, although most of the combos I could pull off, there were a few that just wouldn't connect. I probably just need more practice. Besides the reduction in graphical detail, which your eyes will get adjusted to, this is virtually an identical port of the console game. All the moves, extra DLC characters, fatalities, and minigames are accounted for. Even the crypt with all the hidden items make a return, alongside PS Vita touchscreen exclusives. Don't believe what you hear about the downgraded graphics. Taking into account how smoothly the game runs, this is one good-looking game. For fans of the franchise, this is the Mortal Kombat game to get for a portable handheld. Number 3. Remapping right analog stick. Let's be honest here, we all wish the PSP had a second thumbstick at one point or another. Well now, thanks to the PS Vita, that dream has finally come true. Sort of. Not all titles support this feature, but the ones that do benefit greatly. While playing a PSP game on your Vita, hold down the PS button and tap on settings. You'll see an option for right stick, which allows you to map it to either the directional or face buttons. After playing Medal of Honor Heroes on the PS Vita, I can't imagine going back and playing it on a PSP. It actually feels like the game was originally meant to be played this way. With a modern control scheme more in line with games released today, old PSP titles have now been given new life on the PS Vita. The third birthday feels like an entirely different game as well. It's not perfect, but targeting enemies just feel like less of a pain now. Whether it allows for better camera control or a smoother aim, you can't deny these PSP games just play better with that second analog stick. The only drawback is the small batch of PSP games that take advantage of this, so make sure you do your research before buying the game. And while we've got the window open, there's also the bilinear filter option, which helps to smooth out some PSP titles. There is a slight improvement for 3D games, although I don't notice much of a difference when playing 2D titles. There's also the PSP color space option. When checked, the game mimics the color you would see while playing on the original PSP screen. I really don't know why you would want this enabled, as the default Vita display infinitely improves the color of PSP titles. But hey, maybe I'm missing something. Number 2. Price. The longer you wait, the more expensive the hardware and the games will get. It's just a simple fact. As production runs low, whatever inventory is left will skyrocket. I bet all those scalpers are just foaming at the mouth right now, knowing they'll be able to charge $1,000 for a brand new Vita in a couple of years. So my advice, buy it now if you want a new Vita. I'm actually considering picking another one up myself. You can get the slim aqua blue one for about $150 right now, with a brand new one going for a little over $200. That's US dollars, just in case you're living outside the United States. Number 1. Henkaku. I don't know why, but I'm always reminded of hentai when someone mentions Henkaku in the comments. I think it's because it sounds a little too close to you know what. Anyway, where do I even begin? I know it's something well known in the homebrew community, that's for sure. You can practically write a book about all the things you're able to do with it. Henkaku, the first homebrew enabler for Sony's late handheld. Believe it or not, this, my friend, is the real reason to buy a PlayStation Vita. Limited backwards compatibility becomes a thing of the past. Proprietary memory cards are gone. Games no longer run at sub-native resolution with a capped frame rate. With a whole host of emulators, plugins, and custom firmware, you won't ever need to worry about not having anything to play ever again. Now this is a game changer. Imagine playing Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation or Killzone Mercenary at full native 960 by 544 resolution with an uncapped frame rate. Imagine being able to stream your PS Vita straight to your PC. Imagine being able to play any PSP or PS1 game you want on your PS Vita, regardless of whether it's on the PSN store or not. Imagine being able to play virtually any retro game from almost any retro console. NES, SNES, Sega Master System, Sega Game Gear, Sega Genesis, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and Neo Geo Pocket Color. What? I know I joke about this all the time, but trust me on this. Once you have Henkaku installed on your PS Vita, you'll definitely be the most popular kid at the lunch table. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Regardless of what year you're watching this in, do remember to give me a thumbs up, questions and comments below. Let me know what retro games you're playing on your PlayStation Vita. Later.